had to find a volunteer to go first. And the best way of finding a volunteer is not so much to ask as to tell somebody that they're going first. And so Eamon Mc Guinness works with us at Big Smoke, and he has done so for the last couple of years. And is not only kind of terrific has been for our team, but just kind of helping us, getting lots of different projects off the ground and kind of running smoothly, but also writes really well. So he also has an amazing Irish literature, fancy, and one of his pieces was published in Word Likes recently. So the piece he's going to read for us tonight is called Everything Was Orange. So can we have a round of applause for Eamon Mc Guinness?
Everything was orange. Okay. Mick yawned ceremony and was asleep on my shoulder by the time the M50. I closed my eyes and listened to the music and voices coming from the speakers behind me. I wasn't sleepy, but didn't want to talk to anyone. They must have thought I was asleep too. They started talking about finances, about what they would do with the money. A holiday, a car, an extension. Her voice sounded anxious. Dad kept repeating, "There's no rush, love, there's no rush." I'd try and guess where we were and peek out every now and then. Ballyboden, Tala, Blanchardstown, Finglas. The water tower, the airport, SOS phones and lights all the way home. I always got it wrong, but enjoyed the game anyway. We'd always play this together on car journeys, even if we were only going to the shops or to school. Once at night, when we couldn't sleep, Mick said, "Imagine being out there now in the dark, alone on the M50, walking along the side of the road. What would you do?" "I'd go for one of those orange phones and ask for help." "Win." "Why? What would you do? Hitchhike or walk home?" "No, you wouldn't." "Yes, I would. I've hitchhiked before." "No, you haven't." "Yes, I have. Remember last year after training, my dad forgot to collect me." "That doesn't count. That was Mary and she lives on the road." "Still, more than you've done." Outside the Esso in Balbriggan, a man was lying on the road and couldn't get up. The traffic stopped and I opened my eyes. He was screaming one minute and quiet the next. There was blood on the ground next to his head. Everything was orange. I could hear the noise of an ambulance approaching and a woman crying. A few people had gotten out to see what was happening. They looked like a group watching football, pointing and making comments. Some turned back to their cars, others stayed on. We passed the scene slowly. The man was shouting, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." I thought about waking Mick, but didn't. I was never allowed to wake him when he fell asleep. He needs his rest, they would always say. Cars behind us were beeping their horns. The man's screams were getting louder and louder. Dad turned up the radio. "Look who's awake, sleepyhead." She turned around in the seat to face me and touched my cheek. Her hand was warm, but the tips of her fingers were wet and her eyes were red. Dad didn't turn around. "What's going on?" I lied. "An accident on the road, nothing serious." "Oh, your granddad would have loved this," she said. "He loved a bit of drama, didn't he?"